All right, folks, welcome back to another game of Sudoku. We've got a hard puzzle for us today. Let's take a gander, shall we? Beep, boop, doop, boop. Okay, I see this 9 and 9, just kind of letting my mind float around the board. Let's come back to that one. I saw these 8s and this 8. So 8 through the middle, 8 across the bottom, 8 through the left. Gives me an 8 right there. We love pairs, pair of 2s, 2 down the left, 2 down the middle, and 2 across the bottom. Puts me a 2 there. Cool. I got a 1 and a 2 that go across the top, and I know I need a 1 and a 2 here in the middle. So my 1 and 2 have to go here. All right, so I have a 2 that comes across, and this creates a ghost row. These two are double locked, and a 2 that can't go here, and a 2 here. So this one has to be my 2. This 1 comes across the top. This is a ghost row. One of these two has to be a 1, which means I can't have a 1 in either one of these spots. So I have to have a 1 here. Now in this particular row, anytime I only have 2 or 3 spots, I always like to look and see what they are. We've got the 1 identified, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 6. Now a 6 could go here, a 6 could go here, and a 6 could go here. So I'm not going to mark that just yet. I do need a 7. Well, 7 can't go here. Only 2 spots for the 7, so I'll mark it. Let's see. Where did I see another one that only had 3? Well, this one has 4. Maybe I thought that was a... Oh, okay, but I forgot. Let me come back to this one. Because these two are double locked, the 2 numbers that I'm missing get to go here. Which, if we look at this cube, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I need a 6 and a 7. So now these are double locked. Okay, so I can't have a 6 or a 7. Does that help us anywhere just yet? Not yet. But now I only have 3 numbers left in this row because these two have to be a 6 and 7 no matter how we divvy that up. So I've got a 1, I've got a 2, I need a 3. Well, the 3 cannot go here. So my 3 has to go here. 4, we need a 5. Cool. Look at this 5 right here, folks. Cannot be here. So now these two are double locked, but I do have a 5 here. So no 5 can go here, no 5 can go here. That has to be a 5. Only leaves 1 spot now for the 3. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the only number left is a 9. Very good. Very good. This 9 comes through here through the middle. This 9 comes up the right side, so only 1 spot left for a 9 here. These 2 9s now come up to the top, and I can't have a 9 in the right. Can't have a 9 in the center. Can't have a 9 through the middle. Only place for a 9 here. So now I have a 9 across the top, 9 through the middle, 9 in the left. There we go. All right, well, I have 2 9s over here, just kind of falling around the board. No 9 in the left, no 9 in the center. So I have to have a 9 over here. And the same thing applies here in the center cube because I have a 9 here, here, and here. So we just kind of went around the board there a little bit. Okay, alrighty. Let's see what else. I got a pair of 1s that come down here, and so I have to have a 1 top or bottom because I can't have it in the left or the right. I have a pair of 2s that come up, so I have to have a 2 here or here. Okay, 8s are all done, 9s are done, 1s are done, 2s are done, 7s, 8s. Okay, so those 3 have been kind of looked at the pairs. Let me look at the pairs here. So we have a pair of 3s and a 3 through the middle. So the 3 has to go above or below. Pair of 3s, pair of 9s. Those are already identified. Okay. Pardon me. Okay. I do notice this 8 comes right down this lane and an 8 that comes down this lane. So I only have 1 spot for an 8 here. So now my 8 comes across the top, my 8 comes across the bottom, my 8 comes down the right side, so I have to have an 8 in one of these two spots. All right, I have two 8s here coming up, not in the left, not in the middle, and not in the center. So only one spot left for an 8 there. Okay, so I have an 8 through the middle, an 8 across the bottom. So my 8 has to go here. So all my 8s have gone around the board. We've got those marked out. Okay. All right, I've got 3 spots over here in the far right. We've got a 1, we've got a 2. All right, now we need a 3, but I can't have a 3 here, and I can't have a 3 here. So this is actually the only spot left for a 3. Okay, that is helpful. Now I got a 4, I've got a 5. Now I need looks like a 6 and a 7. Looks like those are going to be my numbers that are holding me up. So I've got 2 spots left. So let's mark those. 6 and a 7, 6 and a 7. Okay, there we go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Got a 4 across the top. Now this is a 6 and a 7. I've also got a 4 over here, so my 4 has to be here. 4 and a 4. Now I have a ghost row. Okay, I cannot have a 4 anywhere else in this row other than these two. So I can't have a 4 here, and I can't have a 4 across the top here. So to have a 4 in this cube, it has to be in one of these two spots. Okay, I've got 3 numbers missing here. I've got a 1, a 2, a 3. Okay, I need a 4. Can go any one of those spots. I need a 5, and that can't go on the left. So we have to have a 5 here or here. And then we need a 6, and a 6 can't go across the top. So we have to have a 6 either here or here. And then our 4 can still be anywhere. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at these 3. I know we've got a 5 and a 6, and that could also still be a 4, so I have to be careful. Do I want to do that? Maybe, maybe not. Let's go back to my pairs. I know we just put some numbers in. Okay, I'm looking at this column here. I need a 1, and it can't go here because of this one. Okay, so a 1 is either going to be here or here. Got my 2, I've got my 3. Okay, 4 could go here, or you know what? Let me just throw those 4s up here because that's going to confuse me if I don't put them in. All right, I need a 5, and that has to be one of these two. It can't be here, and it can't be here. Okay, now a 6 could go here, could go here, could go here. Got a 7, got an 8, got a 9. Okay. All right, okay. I've got a pair of 3s going across the bottom, through the middle, through the left, so I have to have a 3 up here. Okay, let's see, I've got a pair of 1s, but I still have 3 that could be 1s. Okay, my mind is just flying all over the place. Let me write these things down here or I'm going to forget them. So I have a pair of 4s, right? So coming up, my 4 has to be either here or here. All right, I have a 4 that comes across the left. So this 4 has to be here or here. All right, now I cannot have a 4 here or here because it's one of these two. See, I've got a solid 4 and a ghost row 4. Okay, so my 4 has to be here or here. 4 or 4. Okay. 9, 8, 7. The 6 is not a big help in a lot of places. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Okay, we're getting there. Okay, I've done a lot of just kind of chaotic floating and some matching. I'm gonna have to start doing systematic numbering here in just a moment. I saw a couple other things. I just was trying to match them up. Eights, nines, threes, threes, 4 and a 9, and a 9, and a 9. Okay. Fours, very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I do have a 5 that comes across and a 5 that comes down. So my 5 has to be here or here. Okay, and then here in the center one, I have a 5 that comes down and a 5 that comes across. So my 5 has to go here. So now I have a 5 through the center, 5 up the right side. 5 has to be one of those 3. Do I have any other help with the 5s? Not just yet. That's all right. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I was looking at the 2s. All right. Okay. All right. 9, 8. Okay, cool. So we've got an interesting stretch right here. All right, so I need a 7 in this particular column. 7 can't go here. 7 can't go here because they're double locked. Okay, now I have a 7 here that can't go here. So the 7 can only go in one of these two spots, and the 5 can only go in one of these two spots. That is called a double lock. So 9 is the only thing that can go right here because these 5s and 7s cannot go anywhere else. So even though I'm not sure, see how I have a 1 and a 2? Now this is going to have to be a 1 and a 2. I didn't know where the other one could go, but if you can double lock some cells, they give up their information. So now this one has to be a 1 or a 2. Has to be, because that's what I need here. These two are double locked. They have to be 5s and 7s. Nothing we can do to change that. That's just what they have to be. Okay. So I just looked at this column here and I saw that 7, and I saw that this was double locked, that this couldn't be a 7. And I already had 5s here because of the 5s and the 5s and the 5s. So seeing the 7, that double locks. For the hards and the very hards, you've got to be able to find those, or you get kind of hung up. Okay, so let me look at this cube here one more time here. I've got my 9, my 8, my 7. All right, I don't have any help on my 6s. Okay, then we got the 5, 4, 3, 2. Any help on my 1s? 1s can be anywhere, so we got 1s and 6s in here. Okay, all right, and that's okay. That is okay. All right. So now we put this 9 in, so one of these two were the 9. So it's going to cascade a little bit and give us some information. So this is now 9. One of these two were our 5, which this is the only one left now for the 5. Now this can't be a 5 anymore. It has to be a 7. It has to be a 5. Let me clean up my 9. There we go. So we just got some information here that's helping us out here We now have a pair of 5s that come up. So we have to have a 5 top or bottom. Now, this is called a crisscross, or what do they call it? I've heard people call it an X-wing. So if you look in this cube, I cannot have a 5 here, but I have a 5 top and bottom. So over here in this cube, I have a 5 top and bottom. They line up. See this? And they kind of create something called an X pattern. If this is a 5, it can't be here. It has to be down here. See that line there? And if this is a 5, then this is a 5. See that X? But what it does here in the third one, it says I can't have a 5 top or bottom because these two, no matter which way they're 5, they fill both of those rows in this particular. You can have an X-wing vertically, you can have an X-wing or a crisscross horizontally. In this particular case, we have an X-wing horizontally. One of these two has to be a 5, one of these two has to be a 5. Okay, so if this is a 5, then this is a 5. If this is a 5, this is a 5. So the whole top row and the whole bottom row cannot be 5s anymore. So there's our only spot for a 5 here in the center cube. Okay, X-wings, or crisscross. I called them crisscrosses. I think I've seen somebody else call them X-wings. Some good old Star Wars. I like Star Trek too. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of numbers here. I've noticed I got a pair of 7s now. Across the top, through the middle, I have a 7 down the center. So the 7 has to be either right or left. That cleans up this little tidiness. But I still can put some other 6s in there. We'll come back to that here. Okay, we have a 3 that comes across, so we have now a double lock here with the 1s and the 3s. And so the only other number we're missing is a 6. So here we have now 4s and 6s double locked. Now here is a 3 and 6 double lock. All right, so the only number we're missing now is a 1. Cool, look at that. See, they just automatically fall into place. So let's see what we have here. A 1 and a 6, because it can't be a 3. So 1 and a 6. Very good. Okay, so we have a 1 and a 3, which tells me this can no longer be a 3. I now have a ghost column. No more 3s can exist, because if one of these two is a 3, can't have it here. So that makes this one our 3, which makes this one our 5. Let me clean up my 3. All right, and then we had our X-wing over here. One of these two has to be a 5. Well, it can't be in the bottom anymore. Has to be the top. Now let me clean up my 5. Now we have 4s and 6s. Those are nice and clean. Alrighty. Does that circle around anymore? Okay, so this one has to be a 1 or a 6. And that completes that column. Okay, let me see here. So I have a 1 and a 3, and then what do I need? A 4 and a 6. There we go. I need a 4 or a 6 to complete this column. I have a helpful 6 there, so this one has to be my 4. This one has to be my 6. That cleans that up. This 6 comes over here and says this can't be a 6. There's my 4. There's my 6. That cleans that up. I've got one number missing here in this row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like I'm missing a 7. That 7 helps us here. There's our 6 and our 7. Okay, I notice here in this column I need a 1 or an 8. Well, I can't have a 1 here, so 8 is the only number there. 1 and 8, those two just fall right into place. Let me clean up my 8. Alrighty, so we got two numbers here. It looks like a 2 and a 7, and I have a helpful 7 right there. So we have to have a 7 here and a 2 here. Alrighty. So this 2 now comes across. The only place for a 2 is right here. The only place left for a 4 is right there. Only place left for a 1. This 1 comes down here. We got a 1 and a 2, and they'll just swap spots here. Very good. Okay, numbers are just falling into place. Got this 6. I've got a 1 or a 6. Well, it has to be a 1. Can't be a 1, so it's a 3. Can't be a 3 anymore. There's a 6. There's our 6, so there's our 3. There's our 3, so there's our 1. We've got a 1 here, so now this has to become our 7. That has to be our 1, has to be our 6. All right, now if we already have a 1 here, that becomes our 4. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I fat finger that one? 6. There we go, I did fat finger that one. I thought I broke the whole puzzle. Okay, so I just fat fingered it. Okay, so in this particular row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is all I'm missing. So now that I have a 6, 4, and a 6, the two numbers I'm missing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a 4 and a 7. And I have a 7 here, so this one has to be our 4, and I have a 4 here, so there's our 7. So there you are, folks. Crisscross patterns and double eliminations, double locking is what I call them. And you've got your ghost rows and your ghost columns. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I always recommend printing you off a couple copies before we get going on it and give it a whirl yourself. As always, I do recommend enjoy comments, any questions, concerns, suggestions, or challenges. I always enjoy them. Thanks, folks, for watching, and we'll catch you.